Hey out there in Slotcar land, how's everybody doing this fine Saturday evening? Hope everybody's had a safe Memorial Day weekend so far, and hope you guys continue to have a safe Memorial Day weekend. I thought I'd start off the episode by showing you guys what I did from my last video on last Saturday on moving the... Let me turn this light on over here. There we go, now you can see my face. Show you what I got accomplished and whatnot, and show you kind of the things about why I did it. As you can see, here's the driver's station. It used to be over there on the other side of the racetrack. And it used to be right over here on the racetrack. As you can see right there. And this is the reason why I moved it. The driver's station used to be right here, so you had to stand about right here. And as you can see, with all those buildings down there, you can't even see the racetrack. You can see going into the first corner, but you can't see coming out. You can't see corner 2, and you can't see getting into corner 3. Even if you stand over here on the end, if you were in yellow lane, you still really can't see anything down there. So that was one of the things why I wanted to change it. This is show you now what you see. By being in yellow lane, this is what you see now coming through this portion of the racetrack. So you can see all of this. And if you stand like right here, you can see up to the next corner, all the way down and around. You lose your car a little bit right here by the hotel and down, but then you pick it up down there, so it's a lot better. If you're in red, it's even better. You can see your car all the way through this complex here, going up the hill, around the first hairpin, up there, second hairpin. Lose your car slightly right here by the hotel, but then you pick it up going down the hill and down and around. So that's one of the reasons, probably the biggest reasons why I moved it, was for the sight lines. So everybody's got pretty much equal sight lines now. The 2x4 I replaced was right here. As you can see, got brand new 2x4 there. This is the one that was there. As you can see, it was getting kind of ratty. Nothing was holding on to it. The nails were sliding in and out of it, so it's one of the reasons why I changed it. As you can see, let me grab my flashlight here. This is my wiring mess we got going on under here. I still gotta put up some wires there. I've got all of those up over there. There's the bracing I put in. I'm probably still going to have to put one in down there, but I think everything's going to be okay. This is where everything is plugged into, and as you can see, it's a power strip with an on-off switch. Everything on this track is plugged into this power strip with the exception of the computer, the speakers, and the computer monitor. So once you turn this switch on, that switch turns on everything from track power to the infrared lights on the infrared bar here on the timing system, and it turns on the interface for, as you can see, the TrackMate right there. It also turns that on. That's where the sensor lights plug in, and then the cord runs out. It runs down to my computer. So that's one of the reasons why I changed all that, to make it a better sight line for the drivers and for racing and everything. I'm still hoping to get everybody here next Saturday, and we'll do some racing going on. What we're going to do today is I'm going to show you how I make my... I don't know why I put this in here, because we're going to have to I want to show you. We're going to make my fencing and catch fencing today. And this is what it looks like when it's finished. The wall and the catch fencing and everything. We're going to show you how to do that today and what you're going to need to do that today. So let me put this back in the holder here, and I'll show you what you're going to need. First off, you're going to need some nails, and these are the ones that I used. They're 1-inch, 17 gauge wire nails. You can get these at Lowe's. As a matter of fact, I just bought these at Lowe's. And we're going to have to do a little bit of drilling, because you have to drill through, if you have If you don't have any lining outside your track that to deal with, you can just go straight nail into your where your track sits on top of. But I've got this stuff here that lines my track. It's 1/4 inch MDF, and that's what it lines the entire track. So I like to drill through this to get to the floor laminate that's underneath of it to nail the nail into. So what we're going to need first is, and this is all plastic styrene, what you're going to need is some 1/8 tubing. If this is a spectator area and you want to put up a catch fence, you're going to need, this is what I use, 1/16 rod. And then of course for the wall, I'm using the same thing I use for the cobblestones. I'm using the plastic sheet styrene, the 5mm thick plastic styrene. You're gonna need a set of wire cutters, and then everything else you're gonna need to cut your plastic and whatnot. So let's see here. Where should we start first? Let's start by showing you where we're gonna. And I keep putting my hand in front of the camera. I'm sorry about that. Where we're gonna do the wall today is we're gonna do it right here in front of the restaurant. I'm going to do a small wall. It's going to start probably here, go around here, and then we're going to end it like right there. I don't want to put up a wall and then have to take it out to do the cobblestone. So we're going to do a short little wall there to get that done. And we'll let me get set up over there, and I'll show you what we need to get this started. So let me put it on pause here, and I'll go get the camera set up. All right, now I got the camera set up over here. I'm going to show you where I'm going to drill my holes. I'm using a 5/16 drill bit. And you want to drill a hole where your wall's going to start. And if you're working on a curve like this, on the inside of a curve, you're going to want one where the curve starts, one at the very top of the curve, and one where the curve ends. And then, of course, you're going to want one where your wall ends, and then you're probably going to want to put one in the middle between the end of the wall and this corner here. Now you're probably also going to have to put one halfway between these two and one halfway between these two to make the wall uniform all the way around. If you don't, sometimes the wall dips in, so it'll go straight, and it'll look kind of weird. So let's drill our first hole here. Okay, let's move the building out of the way. Get it down to the laminate. I'm not going to have to drill one there or here because there's a gap between the laminate and the track. I don't think I'm going to need one there, but I might need one here. We'll probably put one right here. All right. I got the camera set up off the track here, so hopefully when I hammer these nails in, it won't vibrate the camera. So let's open this up. We'll tap in our nails here. And you're going to want one right here. Whoop. We'll glue that back down later. Now make sure your nails are straight up and down. Make sure you check them periodically. Make sure you're getting them nice and tight in there, so they're adhering to that floor laminate or whatever you guys are using underneath your track. All right, there we go. Now you're going to need your wire cutters. You need to cut the heads off of these nails. The tubing won't fit over that head on that nail, so. And you're going to want to be careful because these things fly when you cut them. You want to cut it right underneath the head so you've got as much, oop, that nail's not straight, as much of the nail left as possible to slide that tubing over. Alright, now that we got that done, and they all seem to be in there really well, this one's not straight. Okay. Alright, now let me go put it on pause, I'll go sit back up to the table and I'll show you what we're going to need to cut to do this. Alright, first thing we're going to cut is we're going to cut our tubing. And you can experiment with your wall height. I had my walls a little taller than what they are now, and it just didn't look right. So I've redid most of the walls, and I finally got them to where they look to scale. They're just 1 inch below 3/4 of an inch high. So if you take your ruler and a pencil, and we're going to need 6 of these tubes. So just estimate your size on your tube. I'm going to use my miter box for the first time here. We're going to need 6 of these. Okay. Woo! Get back over here. Bought this at oh man, it's not gonna work. Tubing's too, let's see here, where's the first hole? Can we go there? No. How about here? There we are, that'll work. Ooh, that's pretty spiffy. I like that. You can also use your Dremel, or you can just use crafting saw outside of a miter box. Whatever you guys have. That one's a little long. We're gonna have to trim that one. Let's grab my Dremel here. Oop. looks a little warped, so we'll grab a new one here. Always save your bits and pieces, though. You never know when they're going to come in handy. Whoop! Dropped my saw. Alright, that's better. Dang it! Keep dropping my saw. Got the dropsies today. Good thing I didn't have that earlier when I was using the weed whacker outside. That could have been disastrous. Alright. There we got 6. Okay. Now we'll cut our styrene. We'll use the full sheet that's in here. Put these up here. Get them out of the way. Back over here. Measure out the height of your wall. Trusty plastic cutter here. Probably gonna need 2 pieces, so I'm gonna cut 2 just to be on the safe side. Alright, there we got our walls, right there, and we're off, and that's interesting. Alright, like they say, measure once, measure twice, cut once, but you know how that goes sometimes. Now let's double check it. Bada bing, bada bang, bada boom. Alright. And then another thing you're going to need, I should have something in here that we can use. Just grab this. Grab my trusty scissors. You're going to need to cut a piece to use to glue your walls together. Alright, that'll work. Okay. Alright, so I'll get set back up over there and we'll show you how we're going to do this. Alright, now we're back over here at the table. As you can see, we got our nails in. We just take our posts that we cut, slide them over the top of the nail, and then take your wall. I'm going to put my building back here so we can... As you can see, I got a little bit of a gap. I don't think you can see it, but there's a little bit of a gap here. I did that on purpose so we can just keep the wall even with this thing on there. Now, for glue, you can either use the liquid stuff, like this, or regular Testors model glue. On these walls, I like to use model glue because it's a little stickier and it's a little easier to use. Let me go grab a couple of some of these also come in really handy too when you're doing stuff like this. So just take some of your glue, glue your post, and I usually do like the first two. Take your wall and put your wall up against your posts. And then just let it sit for a second. Give that glue a chance to take hold. And as you can see, we're going to be a little short on this end over here. So that's where our other piece of wall is going to come in. And by the looks of it, I don't think we're going to need those other posts in there. So while that's drying right there, you can always take your glue. I like to use the liquid stuff when I'm connecting walls. Come here, you little turkey. Make sure you're getting a little bit of a gap there. Make sure you're now that we got that done. Son of a... I got glue on the track. That ain't good. Move along to your next post. And sometimes that happens. So you gotta kind of put your finger on top of it. Sometimes too, you want to make sure that you don't have a seam on your on one of your posts. So if you have to move a post because of a seam, because of that extra piece on the back, you can always move your post. But we're going to be good here. So let's take and put one of these right there. I'll put one over here too, just to be on the safe side. This freaking glue tonight is just not cooperating with me. let that dry for a minute here. Something else you can see is you saw the sponsor stuff that's on the walls on my track. There's several different websites that have that kind of stuff on it. There's HOSlotcarracing.com. Hey, he has some on his. The one that I'm using is from Zazermans.com. He's got complete walls on there. Let me find it here. Here we go. You can print them out. Look just like that. All you gotta do is cut and glue right to your wall. So that it comes in really handy, and it makes the track look really nice. Glue's gonna piss me off. Just not wanting to cooperate. Alright. So, we'll let that sit for a few minutes here. Next thing you're gonna need is the rod. If it's an area that has spectators, which this one will, you're going to need your rod so you can make your catch fencing. So we'll go get that. What I use for my fencing is just ordinary window screen. Plastic ordinary window screen. This fence that's right here around the harbor is made with that, and then it's hand painted. And if you cut it sideways, it looks just like real fence. And then if you can use Tester's aluminum colored paint, and it gives off a really cool color, and it looks just like real fence. So what we're going to do here, see if we take this one off here. You're going to take the rod, and we're just going to set it. And I got to get my X-Acto knife because it looks like that hole's still got some stuff in it from when we cut it. Just like that. And you're going to want to make it overly long. Don't make it to the size or the height that you want. You want it to be longer than the height that it's going to end up being. And what I do is I take a little bit of the liquid, put around it. You don't want a lot because you don't want that stuff going down to that nail and holding the plastic to the nail. So let's take these off. And as you can see, they just come right up. If you want to take the wall up. That's one of the cool things about it, is you can remove them whenever you want to remove them. So I'm going to go get my scissors, and we're going to trim off the end over here where the wall stops. So I'm going to leave a little overlap because, of course, there's going to be more wall down this way, and I'm going to want a spot to glue the tab to add more wall to this wall. So leave it like that. see, do I have any more shortened pieces? Doesn't look like it. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to finish putting our rod in here. And since I showed you this, I'm going to pause it. I'm going to finish that rod and then I'm going to come back. So hold on. Alright, so when you're done, this is what you're going to have. With all of the posts glued in to your wall post. And you can see, there's how we set them in there. So let's go over to the table. We'll bring this over to the table and we'll show you what you do next. So let me put it on pause to get everything set up. Alright, back over here at the table. Got my screen cut. As you can see, it's cut at the angle 45. And got the end cut off. You want to match it up to the end of your wall. And this is why you want your posts higher than your wall, so you don't overcut or undercut. It's better to go bigger, and then you can always trim them off down the road. And I use just regular model glue and glue it to each post. Sometimes you got to kind of work with it a little. Flip it back. And just work your way down your wall. Gluing your spectator fencing on. Doing each pole. As we go down, you also want to make sure you've cut enough fence that you've got enough to get to the end of your wall that you're doing. Because you really can't connect two pieces of this stuff. So you want to make sure you're working within the width of your screen and whatnot. Some of this wall anyways, it's going to be a continuous wall, but it won't all have catch fencing on it. So more than likely, the next wall will have catch fencing, and it'll just be a gap between the walls there. So we're going to let this dry for a minute here, and I'll come back to you with it all put up and everything trimmed off. So hold on. Alright, I think we're dried enough now. So after your wall dries, just come in with your wire cutters or your Dremel or whatever and nip off what the excess posts that you have. And there you have your wall with your catch fencing and everything all intact. So I'll go put it on the track and then I'll come back and show you what it looks like. Alright, there you go. That's what it looks like all installed. And that's how I do my walls on my track. We can go back later and mask it off and hand paint the screen on it and whatnot. Put on whatever sponsorship decals you want on it. Like what I said from the websites there, from Zazerman's or slotcarracing.com has some. So whatever you guys feel like, or you can just leave them plain. So, but that's how I do it, and I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Hope you guys are doing well. Keep watching and keep subscribing and keep pushing that like button and start giving me some comments and start asking me some questions, and we'll get some answers going for you here and have a question and answering session going. So hope you guys continue to have a safe weekend, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Catch you later.